Now at 10, a fatal crash this evening in the area of I-44 where a bridge repair continues. Plus, Joplin's new KCU Dental School celebrates a grand opening. We'll look at what it has to offer and what it means to our community. And how a new Missouri marijuana rule looks to make pot look less appealing to minors.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A fatal multi-vehicle crash further ties up traffic this evening in the area of the Interstate 44 bridge repair. The crash involved 3 tractor-trailer trucks and 2 passenger vehicles. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM Shannon Becker has the latest from the scene.
Yeah, we're on I-44, mile marker 17, and a fatal crash occurred. A chain reaction crash. About 5:35, this tractor-trailer rear-ended a passenger vehicle that was then shoved into the back of another tractor-trailer. The Major Crash Investigation Unit of Troop D marked out the crash for investigation. Troopers confirmed with us on scene 1 person has died. Name is not released at this time. 2 semis covered the entire eastbound lanes, and their loads spilled onto the ground. One carrying raspberries and the other parts for John Deere. It's unknown how many others were transported to area hospitals. We're still waiting more official word from Missouri State Highway Patrol. M&M Wrecker worked diligently to clear the highway. 1 lane was open about 8:18. We have more details on our website. In Jasper County, I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM News Now.
This crash is in the area where traffic has been slowed since an accident nearly 2 weeks ago damaged an interstate bridge. Even before today's crash, the Missouri State Highway Patrol had said motorists should be prepared for additional delays and detours in that area as repair work continues on the bridge in the coming days. A fire near a school in Exeter, Missouri is going to be releasing heavy smoke for some time. That's the message from firefighters in Berry County. Authorities were alerted to the fire around 4 o'clock this morning. They say a 200-foot-long stack of railroad ties is burning. The fire has been reduced and contained, but authorities say it's going to continue to burn for quite a while. We have some really hot weather ahead of us. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it was actually hot today, but it was right where we should be for the end of June. But those temperatures are really going to be heating up over the next few days. 89, 88 is our normal high. 100 is the record set back in 1952. All right, we look good. Not much is going on here. Really, the entire Central Plains is pretty quiet at this point in time, sitting kind of in that 70 to 72 degree range. We do have a severe threat. Now, this is going to roll in tomorrow night. So this is not tonight, but this is going to roll in tomorrow night. A little atypical for this far into summer, but a level 1 out of 5 northern counties, level 2 out of 5 in our southern counties. So we got to talk about this, plus triple-digit heat moving in. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
See you soon. Holiday travelers should expect delays across the 4 states and across our nation. AAA projects a record number of Americans are going to travel over the 4th of July weekend. They say 50.7 million of us are expected to travel 50 miles or more from home. Officials say the increase is primarily driven by a surge in car and air travel. Additionally, INRIX predicts that this Friday is going to be the busiest day on the road during the holiday weekend, with increased travel times and traffic congestions in major metropolitan areas. That's due at least in part to much lower fuel prices than a year ago. The average in Crawford County, Kansas, $3.18 a gallon. Newton County, $3.15. Jasper County, Missouri currently sits at $3.14, and Ottawa County, Oklahoma, $3.11. Kansas City University in Joplin officially opens its College of Dental Medicine. After years of anticipation and construction, the new facility today held a grand opening and the media got an inside look. In a few weeks, 80 dental students will fill the seats and begin their 4-year education, becoming the next generation of dentists and orthodontists and hygienists. The new techniques and equipment provided at the KCU campus in Joplin will allow both students and patients to learn by allowing patients to see their teeth on a monitor.
The university is becoming a more impactful health sciences university, and as a health sciences university we can train the next generation of health professionals in multiple fields and address the needs of the community.
The first class of students will graduate in 2027. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri hopes the surveillance image helps police identify the person who vandalized and stole from its Joplin building over the weekend. A staff member this morning discovered the damage, which included a broken window and water pipe, human feces on the carpet, and thefts of a TV monitor, food, and beverages. Jen Black, the executive director of the Alliance, says there's probably about $5,000 worth of damage when they originally estimated around $1,000, but those prices won't stop them from serving the community.
When you're in this line of work and you're trying to fight for kids and families, there is an opposition that comes for you. And whether the beings themselves realize what's happening or not, they're almost, I don't want to call them pawns in the game, but you know what I mean. They're going to make decisions, and it just makes our work a lot harder.
The Alliance is looking for volunteers to help the organization. Their mission is to improve the health and safety of area children and families. Seems Oklahoma is producing a whole lot more marijuana than the state needs for medical purposes. That's the finding of a report ordered by the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority. The organization conducted a survey that found the regulated supply of medical marijuana produced in the state is at least 32 times the patient demands, at least 32 times, maybe 64 times. The study concludes the oversupply is very likely adding to an illicit market by some cultivators and retailers. You can find a link to the entire report through KOAMnewsnow.com. The recreational marijuana industry continues to boom in a lot of states. In Missouri, a new rule will require labels for many weed products to be less appealing for minors. John Kipper reports.
What we have on the shelf, I don't think that maybe but 2 brands would potentially be compliant with this new regulation.
Jason Crady owns Missouri Wild Alchemy, cannabis dispensary in O'Fallon. He knows the products he's selling will soon look a lot different. He knows customers who rely on their packaging, especially for edibles, and suppliers put a lot of thought into branding.
The colors and the font sizes on the different things do matter, and I think it's important. I think it's a little bit of a kind of an overreach.
Due to a new Missouri regulation beginning August 1st, pot products labels can't include a long list of things like any cartoon, a real-life person, animal, or fruit. They can only have limited colors, and the brand name or label cannot be bigger than the word marijuana on the package. Crady tracked down a few products already in compliance.
All solid color, their label's one color. The marijuana is the largest font on the package.
It's kind of if it's not broke, don't fix it situation.
Drew Lammert grows, manufactures, and sells cannabis. He says Missouri rolled out recreational weed better than any other state in the country. But packaging is already tough for kids to get into.
We already could not design our packaging to appeal to minors, and you had child-resistant packaging.
Yet Folks News 4 found believes the labels could be less kid-friendly.
I do feel like there should be a parental warning for them.
And they believe parents who have weed at home should also be held accountable.
You also have to expect people to be good parents, which is not always the case, and so they just leave their stuff out and then their kids get into it.
Potential lawsuits could come out of the new rules. Lammert points out this line in the state constitution, saying under all circumstances, any such regulation shall be no more stringent than comparable state regulations on the advertising and promotion of alcohol sales. Yet, when you look at alcohol products in St. Louis, they definitely show cartoons and other images that would not be compliant with the new pot rules.
I just believe that this current rule that they have out right now is violating that constitutional amendment.
Lammert says he doesn't plan to sue, but says somebody else easily could.
Now, while the rule technically starts at the end of August, Lammert says the state is offering some type of waiver period. Right now, there is no word on how long that's going to last. Coming up, the Kansas Attorney General launches a legal move to end requirements for changing transgender birth certificates. Plus, Russian President Vladimir Putin addresses the nation after a weekend mutiny. Transgender people born in Kansas could be prevented from changing their birth certificates to reflect their gender identities. That's if Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach is successful with the legal move he launched on Friday. He filed a request in federal court asking a judge to end a requirement for Kansas to allow transgender people to change their birth certificates. He's not seeking to undo past changes, only prevent them going forward. Russian President Vladimir Putin thanked his nation today for unity after an armed rebellion over the weekend was headed off in less than a day. Earlier today, the mercenary chief who was behind the short-lived mutiny defended that action. Reporter Skylar Henry has the latest.
Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed the nation after a short-lived weekend mutiny by a mercenary group shocked the world. Following what many consider a blow to Putin's ironclad authority, the leader blamed Russia's enemies for the rebellion, saying they miscalculated.
The sense of his invincibility I think, is fatally shaken.
Earlier, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the head of the mercenary group, said in an audio message that he wasn't trying to overthrow Putin. He says he was working to prevent the destruction of his private military company called Wagner. During the mutiny, mercenaries left Ukraine to seize a military headquarters in southern Russia, then headed towards Moscow before eventually turning around.
The ultimate outcome of all this remains to be seen.
President Biden said the U.S. and other members of NATO had nothing to do with the revolt.
But no matter what comes next, I will keep making sure that our allies and our partners are closely aligned in how we are reading and responding to the situation.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says his military stepped up offensive operations in the east and took back another village in the south. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Putin praised soldiers from the Wagner Group for not entering Moscow. He promised they would not be punished and could join the Russian army. U.S. officials tell CBS News they believe Prigozhin was still in Russia as of this morning, but his current whereabouts are unknown. The suspect in a mass shooting that killed 5 people at a Colorado Springs LGBTQ+ nightclub last year pleaded guilty to murder and other charges today. He also pleaded no contest to 2 hate crime charges. Anderson Lee Aldrich faces life in prison in the murder charges under the plea agreement. Today's plea comes just 7 months after the shooting and spares victims' families and survivors a long and potentially painful trial. A little bit later, the Joplin Outlaws look to stay hot tonight in their matchup against the Nevada Griffins.
Plus, the heat is really going to kick in. Also, some thunderstorm chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a hot one for us today. Temperatures right around 90 degrees where we should be for this time of the year, but it's going to heat up even quite a bit more as we go through the next few days. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Temperatures for us right now, most of us upper 60s to near 70, and I really think we're only going to drop back into the mid 60s later on tonight. But it looks good. 7th and range line sitting at 70. Pressure is steady, winds are pretty much calm, so visibility is great at about 10 miles. Nothing going on here. We actually have pretty much clear skies. We may get a few little thunderstorms that try to pop up later on tonight. This is mainly going to be northeastern Oklahoma, but a few of those guys, isolated little guys, could roll in late tonight into tomorrow morning, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Look at this big dome of high pressure. This is actually going to strengthen over the next couple days, kind of expand, and that is going to give us quite a bit of heat, triple-digit heat moving in by Wednesday. Also, we got to watch this. This is not tonight. This is tomorrow night. Severe threat. We zoom in, level 1 out of 5. Northern half, level 2 out of 5, and our southern half. So we are looking at timing 10 p.m. until 3 a.m. Main threats are going to be hail and wind. I'm going to keep all the threats slight at this point in time, but definitely something we want to watch as we go through the next 24 hours. All right, let's move to 6 a.m. You can see a few isolated little showers trying to pop up. Most of you guys are going to stay dry. Mid 80s by noon. Let's go into the afternoon, into the evening hours. We'll stop at 6:30, 92 in Stockton, 95 Miami, 92 in Fredonia. So it gets pretty hot. Tomorrow night, here comes that band of showers and thunderstorms. I think we'll get into the western half of our viewing area by 10:30, 11 o'clock. drives east, gets into Pittsburgh, Miami, Joplin, Carthage, Neosho, midnight to 1 a.m. Heaviest now pushes east by 3 a.m. and by the time you get up on Wednesday morning, it's going to be gone. Partly sunny skies. Check this out. Look at the heat. We go into the triple digits, at least lower as we head into Wednesday. All right, rainfall. We got to see where the heaviest storms set up, but there should be a band of a ½ an inch to an inch. This could shift farther north or a little bit farther south. Day planner for you tomorrow. A couple showers in the morning. High temp 94 as we get into the afternoon hours. All right, let's go into Thursday. Look at this. The heat expands. Partly sunny. 104, 105 for afternoon highs. Heat indices pressing 110. Even on Friday, I think we should go above 100. There is going to be a slight chance for a few showers and then better chances for rain as we move into the weekend. So at least we have those chances for rain. The heat, we don't really need or want. 94 tomorrow, 102 on Wednesday, 105 on Thursday. Of course, alert days because it's smoking hot. And then a possible alert day Friday. We'll see if that 104 sticks. A little cooler, only 90s heading into the weekend. Thunderstorms on Saturday.
A little cooler, only the middle 90s.
Hey, psychologically, it's pretty good.
I guess. Thanks, Doug. This massive tornado tore through 3 miles of Johnson County, Indiana yesterday. Officials say it damaged 75 homes, but amazingly it killed no one. However, severe storms are being blamed for several deaths across the South, including in Arkansas and Georgia, where a tree fell on a pedestrian. The weather knocked out power to thousands, leaving residents across the South without the ability to cool off as they also deal with dangerously high temperatures. John Dales joins us now. Missouri Southern football fans got some good news today.
Yeah, they did. They already know that their team's going to be playing this year, but now they know who they're going to be playing this year. Their schedule was released today, and I'll let you know who they're playing and when. And both the summer baseball teams from the four-state area square off at Joe Becker Stadium. Highlights from that game and a lot more right after the break. Still got a couple months to go until high school football season kicks off, but we're inching closer every day. And one sign of that being today, several high school football teams are on the same field over at Joplin High School, competing in the 5th annual 4 states 7-on-7 tournament. Joplin, Pittsburgh, Neosho, Glendale, Mount Vernon, and Seneca are the schools that are participating. Things got started at 2 p.m. and didn't finish until the championship at 8:30. It's the 5th time that Joplin has hosted this event, and Eagles head coach Curtis Jasper says he's grateful for each and every team that made the trip to Joplin this afternoon.
It's great. These coaches that are here, I have a lot of respect for, and we have a good time, and their kids understand that we're here to get better. They're here to get better, and yeah, we want to compete, and someone's going to leave here today with a trophy and shirts that say champions on the back, but ultimately it's about, their kids and our kids all getting better and having a good time.
Meanwhile, the wait just as long for college football until its season begins, but light at the end of that tunnel as well, because this morning, Missouri Southern announces the release of its complete 2023 football regular season schedule. The Lions have 11 regular season games, 6 at home and 5 on the road, every single one of them against an MIAA opponent. And there are a few contests that stick out, starting at the beginning with 2 Thursday evening games to start the season on August 31st. They play against Northwest Missouri, then the very next week at Washburn on a Thursday night. Skip ahead to October 7th, that's when homecoming is against Fort Hays State. Very next week, huge rivalry game. October 14th, the Lions host Pitt State. Over to baseball, the Joplin Outlaws, they have been red hot recently, winners of 5 of their last 6, entering today. And today is also the first time all summer that Nevada, the Griffins, make a trip up to Joe Becker Stadium. Outlaws and Griffins with a beautiful night for baseball over at Joe Becker. Pitchers duel from the jump. Missouri Southern Steen Lane gets a strikeout in the top of the first. His counterpart, Jackson Burns, does the same for Nevada. We were scoreless until the bottom of the 2nd inning when Will Kelly steps up to the plate, lines one into left field. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, the first runner scores easily, play at the plate, and the second one gets out That's an important play because as we go ahead to the fourth, sacrifice bunt for Nevada with runners on first and second, and a mishap on the throw over to first. Everybody's going to be safe. A run is going to come in to score as well. That makes it a tie game at 1 apiece. Same inning, bases loaded now, and a bouncer over to third base takes a tough hop off the turf. Everybody's safe again. Everybody moves up. We're still in the top of the fourth, and an RBI single by Jacob Strobel goes into right field. The Griffins would go for 6 runs that inning. That would be all they need. They end up winning it 6-3. And rounding things out, the MIAA, the home conference of Missouri Southern and Pitt State, they announced today they have a new member. Arkansas Fort Smith will join the conference beginning in the 2024-25 academic year. The Lions out of Arkansas Fort Smith, they were members of the Lone Star Conference before the switch. They've been a part of Division II athletics since 2009, and they will be the first full-time members of the MIAA from the state of Arkansas. And this edition will keep the conference at 14 member schools, with Lincoln University leaving at the same time that Fort Smith joins. And I got to tell you, Dow, I love every story that we do here, but being able to say football's getting closer, it feels so good. Going to a field and seeing guys with the shoulder pads and the helmets on.
Any time of year is a good time to talk about football. We'll be right back. Your air conditioner is likely to get a real workout before the end of this week.
Yeah, temperatures really heating up over the next few days. 94 tomorrow, thunderstorms tomorrow night, could be strong to severe. 102 on Wednesday, up to 105 on Thursday, so it really starts to climb.
Yeah, but after that 105, just 104.
Yeah, so it gets a little bit better.
Yeah, so it'll be dropping a little bit. Final sports notes.
Outlaws and Griffins, they play tonight. Nevada wins. They do it again tomorrow at Nevada this time, though.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.